Hello everybody, Corey here. We're going to go over YBIT and friends in this video. So just a reminder, I'm not a qualified licensed investment or financial advisor. I'm here just to gather the data and present it to you so you can make more informed decisions. Just a reminder, YieldMax ETFs are extremely risky. Please make sure you understand the risk in investing in these ETFs. So trades. So I don't have it up on my, so I had to go see what all happened here. So the first three lines are pretty easy. 380 contracts. They added to the synthetic and the short call they had for 380 contracts. The next two lines is where they sold another short call, and then also shows them buying the stock. So after going back and looking, on Friday, they just opened this position here where they sold this short call with the expiration date of next Friday with the $27 strike price. And then they paid to close out the other one that expired on Friday. So that was 3,800 contracts. That's what they had on their holdings here, was the 3,800, that new one right there on the top. And then, and I've sort of done this here, so that's the 3,800 we have right here. Then on today's, if we take out the new, this right here, the new one that they, the new short call that they sold, if we take out that from what's on the holdings today, that means that there was 1,019 contracts left today of that 3,800 from Friday. Therefore, and this is just verifying these numbers, that they were assigned for 2,781 contracts, which is sort of amusing. And I will say, this is the first time we've ever seen something like this happen, and I don't know, this is the first time I've seen it. So like I said, this was Friday, and in fact, so let's just, so you can see, so Friday we closed at $27.28. The stock price was $27. Again, doesn't expire until next week. But they ended up getting assigned for most of these. And then this is actually how much they got in premium on those, right? But then apparently now they're already assigned. And so then they had to buy the shares to sell whoever, to sell it to them for the $27 strike price. So you're going to see here that they purchased these for $26.47 so they could turn around and sell them to somebody for $27. So they made a little bit of money off of this, on top of now earning more premium, because then they just turn around and sold another short call on the same number of contracts to get them back up to where they were. So anyway, yes, so that's what happened today. And then of course you can see over here the 380, and then of course this up here is the 2,000 something with the 380 added to it. Now, what doesn't make a lot of sense is that the overall net assets did not change here. In fact, we're down about 700,000 from Friday. Outstanding shares did not change. And I went back and looked, because like this one was negative $6 and something on Friday, and now it's like almost negative $8 here. I don't think these had changed much, but I was going back and comparing and stuff. But, our nav here, and then this was already copied and pasted up here before I did all the rest of this. All right, so this up here is a little bit more than this because it's actually going off of what's being reported on the holdings as the net assets. But it's not the same thing as when you add up the market value of all the holdings on the holdings. So you can see down here at the bottom, the sum is actually 14,119,000. And so I know Jay and I have talked about this before, but I'll show you what I mean. Because if you don't look at these, you don't really know. So this is where the raw data comes from, right? So our raw data starts here. You can see all this data here if you want. And then these columns, all this blue is the original. So this is the original data from the holdings. So you see the 14.1, but it doesn't necessarily equal what it's saying over here as the net assets. And that's why, you've probably seen this on other ones, net assets minus market value. And you can see in this case, it's almost $300,000 difference. I moved it though last week when I added this up here for now to give us somewhere to put this data, since we only had one ETF, but for, estimates and stuff. So I had just moved that out of the way. But that's why there's the difference between here and here. But I will say, I don't know why there's been a huge difference there, because even usually on the other ones, there's not that big of a difference. But I can't tell you exactly why we went up almost $1 a share here if the net assets themselves didn't actually change. And we can see here, the net assets, regardless of which way you're doing it, whether you're adding up the market value, right, or you're actually using the net asset at the top, it's still $19 and something. It's not 20 and it's not 21. So I'm not sure how that's coming about. And I know, like I said before, we've had, these somewhat, to me, it's significant when I compare it to all the other ones, right? It's significant. But it's really not if you're comparing this one and this one being off 31 cents isn't that significant. But you can see here, these are off a couple of cents, but then these have been off 30. And they're usually not that big. If you look at all the single stock funds, they're never going to be this far. The NAV price is never going to be that far off the actual price of the stock. But for some reason, this one has, and it has ever since day one. But this one, I'm not sure why we're here on this one. I don't know. I guess tomorrow it'll make me pay more attention to it tomorrow to see where we're at and what happens with this stock price and everything else. It makes this, we're up to now, because of that, them being able to do this and get additional premium for this and everything today, that's got us up to $1.24 in premium received. But it still concerns me not knowing why, and I don't know. I assume that's where we closed today. That's what the Google formula brought in. However, I haven't actually checked to make sure, that is 100% correct. So I'll just look up YBIT real quick on my phone. And it says we closed at 21.42. And after hours we're at 21.47. So, and it shows this one's been trading in the $21 range since somewhere around noon today. I don't have this precise on my phone, but and I don't even know what time zone that's in. It confuses me because I think it does Central Time Zone when I'm in the moo out for some reason. But anyway, so just want to point that out, that we add up these net assets and, we divide them by the outstanding shares, that these do not equal close to what the current stock price is. So anyway, let's move on to prices, stock prices, and where we're at today. We can see, again, you see here, YBIT went up 4%. So not sure why there. YBTC, though, went up 2%. And then you can see all the ones off the futures there. The ones that did the best. Now, this is adding back all the distributions, because today was ex-dividend date for several of these. So this would be adding those back to the stock price, just to be able to compare these funds fairly. So that has BITO positive 2.4 and MAXI at 2.2. And that's because BITO has a distribution. So we'll get to that in a minute. There's like 3 or 4 of them. The BETH and the BETE and the EETH and the BITO, they all had ex-dividends today. And if we look at the 2 times over there, we're looking at 4.9% for BITX and 4.5% for BITU. And I didn't know if this BITU, if it was going to go to monthly like BITX, or if it's going to do annual, whatever, but it did not show a distribution when I looked it up today, so I'm not sure still what that one's going to be. And we see that Bitcoin was up 2% today. And then if you just want to see rankings and you don't want to actually see the percentages and change, here's your rankings for today. And then if we get to the distributions over here, so we can see BITO's distribution was $1.77. So I need to make a change, because one thing I didn't do here is I went back and I added this distribution after the fact, and then I just added the bottom line. But what I didn't do is change the top line, which means that percentage and data is going to be off, because it doesn't add in the distributions back in. So hold on, I'm going to copy that from my other, and let me paste values here. There we go. So let me go back real quick, because in that line 6 right there, it did not have the distributions added back into the overall number there, because I didn't think to copy and do paste values. And the reason I did that is because I've had a problem with, we'll be ready to go and I'll go to do the video, and then all of a sudden Google doesn't want to bring the formulas, or it wants to take the formulas out or not provide the data through Google Finance. So I've been copying and pasting the values. I didn't realize that there were distributions on these until after I'd already done that. So anyway, in case you were looking at the top, if you want to see overall who's done best since YBIT came out. So we have YBIT actually now doing better than YBTC, but that's because of whatever happened today, and I don't know. I don't know what it was or why, and I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Maybe we won't know later. I don't know. But, and then if we look, it's funny, all of those are still in the same order as far as worst to best on the top there, overall. So I put them, when I redid this, I put them in order that way. Yeah. I did the same thing for the 2 times 1s too. That's what I thought. Okay, sorry. But I was looking at the total at the top up here on this line for the distributions, and that's when I realized that I didn't think to copy that one. So now this will be accurate. So anyway, we had BITO here with $1.77 distribution. Today's the ex-dividend date, so I'm putting all these on the ex-dividend date here. And then BETH here, the $2.82. And then we have, BETE at $2.10. And then we had ETH also at $2.10. And then I put the percentages over here. Of course, this is just, which I guess I could rewrite this. This is just how I had this originally, because I was going to show it. But if I show the divs tab every time, there's no sense me having that over there. And of course, this isn't, it's not pulling in now. Awesome. But anyway, this is the actual broken down. Obviously, on the other tab, it's just rounded. But you can see $0.76796 for that BITO. And then here for the BETH, it was 2.82297. BETE 2.10388. And EETH at $2 and 2.09768. So, and then this one, the last time, this one paid on May 1st. Again, I don't know, it could be an annual thing, that could be the fiscal year, I don't even know. But I was thinking, I'd have to look it back up, I can't remember. Oh, you know what? I have it here on a tab. Is it here? Yeah. So BITU is pro shares. Yeah. So that's why I was thinking it might be monthly like this one. Sorry, like, oh no, that one's not pro shares. That's the one that just went monthly. But like these other ones, these were all pro shares and they're all monthly. So I thought maybe this one was going to be monthly, but I'm guessing not. But anyway, in case you're wondering what all of these were and who was doing them or whatever, here's that data. This is where I had started doing that, so that's why the color codes aren't the same. It's the original color codes that I had before I started messing with these. Before I started messing with these over here. See, this is why I have to copy and paste values, because this starts acting stupid. But anyway, I know it's a lot. Sorry. Just wanted to make sure I showed y'all those distributions, or all of those. The ex-dividend date was June 3rd. I know I keep saying today when you're watching it, it's going to be June 4th. But June 3rd was the ex-dividend for all of those. But anyway, that's it. And thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.